Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and at the end of that video there's quite a long fade out. I didn't realise how long that takes to fade out, so I was just sitting here waiting for myself to appear on screen, but here I am. And yeah, starting up with a little bit of That's Metal tonight as requested for over on Patreon, so thank you guys for that. And whenever that video comes on, somebody always says that I'm in need of a tan or I need to get some sun and all that kind of stuff. But may I remind you, I do live in the UK. So the sun is something that we rarely get to see, unfortunately. But maybe throughout the summer, it might come out a little bit more. As you can tell, I'm just in a t-shirt tonight because it is a little bit warmer than usual. And whenever it's warm enough to get rid of the hoodie, that's very welcome for everybody here in the UK. So yeah, we are just in the Batman t-shirt for tonight, starting with That's Metal. Ironically, when I shot the That's Metal video, it was at the end of the year. It'd been raining, it was cold, so classic UK weather. And yeah, I just had to wait for the time between the showers, the rain, to then shoot the video, because obviously when it was raining we had to keep the camera dry and all that kind of stuff, but we got there in the end. Anyway, hello to everybody in that live chat room, and I can see you guys in there. Let's see if we can attempt to read out some names. So we have Howard in there, Pamela, Chanter of the North, Robert, Charlie, Joni, Tammy, Laurie, Chet, Bob, Terry, Bernadine Jones, Guitar, Tim, Tina, Chanter of the North again, Karen, Kenny, Bev, Julesy as well. Oh, and Julesy says something about hair. So let's get this out of the way early on tonight's live stream, the hair talk. My hair is still just growing, and my hairdresser's hand, I'm assuming, is still healing. I'll probably send her a message soon-ish so that I can maybe get my hair cut. But it's just about surviving. You can see actually on this side, it's flirting with going in front of my eye, but it's not quite that long at the moment. So hopefully we'll get away with it for another few days. Hopefully as well my hairdresser's hand will be sorted so that she can sort me out, which I will need for the end of the month, because I'll be going off to see The Warning. They're playing in the UK and namely London, but they are playing a Download Festival as well. So hopefully I can have a haircut before then, so I can actually see them rather than being blinded by my own hair. But I'm sure the girls will understand, because they're very much part of that world. So yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, I'll try and take a picture or two, something like that, and then update you guys on Patreon. Maybe on, I think it's on a Monday, so it'll have to be the Tuesday live stream following. I'll be able to, yeah, upload some pictures and, yeah, hopefully upload some pictures. As you guys always know, whenever I'm invited to events, taking pictures is very difficult because they all have to kind of be selfies, and I'm not that much of a selfie taker anyway, but I will endeavour to try and take some selfies at that particular gig. Anyway, oh, just mentioning about the live streams, the guidelines. It has changed recently in that the guidelines are actually in the comment section, but not in the comment section, in the description below. And I mean, the comment section doesn't exist at the moment because that happens after the live streams have finished. And just to mention about the comment section, when that does happen and you're commenting and you're not watching it live, those comments will go underneath the video, but obviously won't be part of the live stream, because now it is, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen so we can see the time as well. And a huge shout out to my patrons for making this all possible in the first place and being the foundation of everything that I do. So you know who you are, these people at the bottom of the screen, and obviously you know who you are, but I mean my patrons who support me and make this all possible. But the time is 10 minutes past 11, or 38 39, 40 seconds past 10 minutes past 11 here in the UK, and it's Greenwich Mean Time, so you can check if you are actually watching it live or not. I think you'll know whether you're watching it live or not because there might be a live icon somewhere on the screen, so at least you know. But if you're watching this on catch up, then the comment section only happens after I've finished, and then when you comment in there, obviously it's not live, so yeah, I won't be able to respond or anything like that. So just getting through all that, yeah, the description below is where those guidelines are, the new guidelines, so just make sure you follow those and then you'll be fine in the live streams because they're now independently moderated. So that's all the moderators are doing, just looking at the live chat room and literally looking at the guidelines, just going from one to the next, just making sure everything flows and everything is as should be in that live chat room. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight. As for tonight's live stream, we have a hell of a picture corner tonight. I don't know how many pictures there were, but thank you, Laura, for linking me to those because lots of merchandise pics. I think maybe 5 or 6 pictures, maybe 7, I don't know. There were too many when I was uploading it to the software, and hence the setup took a little bit longer because I have to import the pictures individually. But yes, so we're going to have a picture corner later on. There's probably the busiest one that we've ever had. I don't know whether we will ever have a busier one, maybe, who knows, in the future. So yeah, we'll be looking at those a little bit later on. Right, we have the vote for tonight's cover video that is between Is This Love, Whitesnake, and Carry On Wayward Son. So yes, Carry On Wayward Son, I think, is in the lead at the moment, 59% of the vote. So any Whitesnake fans, if you want to have a vote for the other song, obviously this is my version of those 2 songs. So yeah, whichever one wins, we will be having a listen to a little bit later on. And Kansas, by the way, I mentioned Whitesnake, but if we've got any Kansas fans in, then yeah, have your vote in that particular cover video duel that's going on. But I think maybe if I'm going to predict it, I'd say maybe Carry On Wayward Son is actually just went down by a percentage, so I won't say anything and I won't make any decisions too early because I'll probably get it wrong. Right, I know that there have been some donations, so thank you guys for those, and that is my cue to get the donations tab up on screen to let you know that you don't have to donate. Just watching is fantastic, and maybe hitting the thumbs up. And if you come through the door, if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be great because we have a likes goal that we're going to be aiming for tonight, and that is set at 325 likes. So if we do hit that target for tonight, it means that we are going to be having a FilJam number 8. So we are getting through the list, and yeah, Joe's been keeping me up to date with the list over there so that I know which ones I've done, which ones I haven't done, so that I don't miss any out. So 325 is what we are aiming for. Now, in order to get the likeometer up on screen, I know that it always moves as soon as we start the live stream, but let me adjust it and get it on screen so we can see that we've got 175 likes so far. So maybe we can get a bit of a spike of the likes going on to get closer to that target of 325, which means we're looking for another 145. Is that correct? I don't know. If it is correct, maybe it was a bit lucky of just pulling that number out from nowhere. But yeah, maybe we can get a thumbs up. I was going to say a thumbs up going on, but a spike of the likes. That's what we say here. And while I remember about that, spiking the likes, plugging the merch, which I always forget to do, Paul donated $2. Thank you for that, Paul, and says, spike the likes, all y'all. Let's have fun tonight. So let's have a plug of the mug at the same time. Let's see how they get on. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, then just click on the tray underneath this video. If you don't have a tray underneath this video, then there's a link in the description below to get taken through to the spring.com store where you can get your hands on some of the merchandise. And if you are a Facebook user, you can head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group, over on Facebook. You'll be allowed into that group. You can upload your pictures, and then Laura will link me from that page to the pictures, and then from the pictures I can then upload them to my software and then show them, as we will be having a little bit later on with the picture corner. So the other thing, I know that there have been PayPal donations, so thank you for that, and for those I will be getting through those. But the other thing to mention is the video that I'm going to be releasing tomorrow, which I've been mentioning for I think the last week, with Morris Hayes, and that's going to be I think around 25 minutes, something like that, and it's definitely going to have to be more than one video, so I'll endeavour to keep editing that all together so that I can release part 2 and then maybe part 3 if it goes as far as a part 3 over the next week or so. But as always, I'll keep you guys in the loop over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. So right, let me just jump into the PayPal window, because we had a donation in there from Nicole, I think was the last one, or should I say the first one. That was at 7:15. And yeah, 7:15 this morning, so very early on Saturday morning, Nicole donated £12.84. So thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello Phil, for to be with you and the group who love the world of Phil. My warm thoughts, greeting from France. So thank you for that, Nicole. And Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, how is your arm doing? Have you started exercising yet? So thank you for that. And my arm, at the moment it's been, a year and 6 months where I haven't been able to kind of get back to my normal routine that I would be doing, as I was doing in the That's Metal video before that was shot. So yeah, haven't been able to do any kind of heavy resistance training. The only exercises I'm doing at the moment are just the physio for my arm. So it means that it takes me about, I don't know, between 20 minutes and half an hour. So it is just like a workout every day that I do it, just for my right arm, because I have to do all of the ranges of motion with one of those exercise bands, like an elastic band. So it means that I'm grabbing it and I'm kind of having resistance going that way, and then I do like 2 sets of 15, and then I do resistance going that way, 2 sets of 15, and then I do resistance going up, so it's kind of shoulder but with the arm lengthened, and then I do resistance going down, so that's 8 sets, and then I have 2 sets of 25 of having an open palm going away, because that kind of focuses more on the inside of the arm and the tendon. And then I do stretches as well. So yeah, everything I'm doing every day is like a workout routine, but it is literally just the physio for my arm. And the arm's definitely getting better, which is good. I can do lots of things that I couldn't do before. For example, having any kind of resistance and kind of keeping a straight arm and pushing down, that's something that I couldn't do before, because I'd feel it straight away on the tendon. Whereas now I'm doing 2 sets of 15 with that, and I'm not feeling the tendon. So I think it's now it's getting close to the point where in the future, maybe in, 4 weeks, maybe a bit longer, I might consider doing some very light exercise kind of resistance training that I would have done before. But it's definitely still not at the point where I feel confident just going straight back into training, or even kind of doing more exercise for different muscle groups, such as doing bench press and all that kind of stuff, because I haven't yet tried the arm in that way. All I'm doing is just really focusing on the muscles around the tendon and just strengthening all of those movements, so that in the future I can get back to exercising. But at the moment it's going quite well, fingers crossed. There's always a day now and again where I start to feel it a little bit, and then I realise, I've probably done a bit too much on that particular day, whether that be kind of lifting gear, which I tend to be doing all the time, moving things around this room, for example, and even just carrying guitars, all that kind of stuff. If I do too much, then I will generally feel it the next day, but not on the tendon, which is the good thing, because the tendon is where I just used to feel it all before, whereas now it just tends to be on kind of basically the end of the bicep, maybe slightly on the inside of my arm, which isn't where the original injury was. So I'm hopeful that the tendon is now healed. It's just getting everything else that's been doing nothing for a year and 6 months, like literally not doing anything. It's just been resting. I've now got to kind of, build up everything. But having said that, I am surprised at how much muscle mass I've managed to maintain for a year and 6 months doing absolutely nothing, because I thought that my arms would just waste away to nothing. But I can, like, even when I'm just kind of I move my arms like that, I can still see a bicep and I can still see forearm muscles, so they're still there. I don't know how, but for some reason, maybe it's just something genetically that I'm very lucky with, that I don't tend to lose the muscle mass over a year and 6 months. Maybe it's because I've been working out since the age of 13 or 14. Maybe a year and 6 months isn't going to make that much difference. But looking forward definitely to getting back into it. And I just don't want to go back to kind of injuring the tendon again, or another tendon, because I know how long it's taken to rest. So in my mind, just resting for another 4 weeks, maybe couple of months or few months, to make sure that when I do start again, that it's all fine. I'd much rather do that than push things and start going back to, or just regressing back to where I was, because that would be absolutely soul destroying, because I would like to get back to exercising at some point. Anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. And let me just scroll into the next one, because we've had Steve. So thank you for this, Steve. A donation of £5. And the message is, why does a Telecaster seem so capable of mimicking the sound of other guitars when most guitars have a tone you can usually pick out without seeing it? So thank you for that, Steve. And it depends, because nowadays with gear, you can do a lot with amplifiers, and especially with the telly. I mean, I've done quite a few covers actually with the telly, where I've applied, distortion, and it pretty much does the job. The only thing that you won't get is sustain. So I'd say that's the main thing about the telly, that if I were to play, obviously, my Ibanez or the Gem, obviously, because it's got, should I point it a little bit more accurately? Because that's got humbuckers, it's going to make a huge difference to the sound. But I think with a telly, it kind of fits that middle place. But I'm not sure that I would choose it as a guitar that does everything. What I did was I had my Fender Strat that I then installed a dual blade pickup or twin blade pickup on, which makes that single coil position, or the single slot. It means that pickup can now be turned into more like a humbucker, where you'd have the double slot, but that's the point, that you just use it as a single slot. So that's what I did at my Fender in order to get that heavier sound, but then be able to get the nice tones that I enjoy of the Fender. So a Telecaster is, it is something that you can use for lots of different things, but I think it tends to be used quite a lot in country music and for cleaner tones, and just getting a lot of action from the sound and getting all those notes to, that kind of even response across the strings, which is maybe why it can be used for other styles of music. And then when you apply distortion to it, obviously you're going to lose the sustain, but you can still get a relatively even and balanced sound, because of the fact that it's going to be nice and even and balanced when you're playing with a cleaner tone. And that's something that, for example, playing the Strat or the Performer Series Strat, which is there, that has a very dramatic change in sound across the pickups from the bridge pickup to the neck pickup. So you get a wildly different tone from, but that's kind of what I like about Strats, especially on the neck pickup. You get a really nice kind of bassy, rounded bassy sound from the E, the A and the D strings. So that's what I like. But certainly on a Telecaster, you don't get that. So it gives you more of an equal response, an even response across, the whole sound, but just, I say, the whole guitar. Obviously there is going to be a slight difference because you do have the option of changing between pickups, but I haven't got the telly here or anywhere behind me, so it's not within arm's reach. But yeah, it's something that gives a little bit more of a balanced sound across all of the strings. So maybe that's why it's not necessarily mimicking other guitars, but if you were to put the guitar through a particular effect or through your, I use distortion quite a lot, so when I put the guitar through a distorted sound, then yeah, it's still going to sound relatively similar to my Fender Strat. Maybe not so much the Ibanez guitars I've got, like the Geo as well, which is kind of over there. That's something that I'm thinking of doing, is putting another spot behind me, behind that shoulder, to get my Geo hanging up as well, because at the moment it's just kind of not sitting on the floor, but standing on the floor. It's always good to have a little bit more floor space, so I might do that in the future. So anyway, that's what I'd say, yeah, that sometimes, yeah, having that nice balance sound is what people want, because it means it can kind of do more things. But when you start to get into one particular sound, for me, I'm into hard rock, so I think, yeah, choosing a telly to do that, I'm always going to lose a little bit of sustain on the sound, which is something that I wouldn't want to do particularly. For me, it's all about, yeah, keeping as much sustain as possible. But thank you for that, Steve. And going into the next donation, Barbara donated £7.69. So thank you for that, Barbara. And the message was, hello, Phil and fellow wingers. Please welcome my friend, Richard Orth. We were childhood friends and this is his first live stream. So hello to you, Richard, and welcome to your first live stream. I hope that you do enjoy it. Everybody say a big hello to Richard in that live chat room. And thank you for that donation, Barbara. And yeah, for getting Richard involved as well, because it's always great to get some new people involved in the live streams. If you are new to the live streams, just say hello, introduce yourselves in that live chat room so that we all get used to each other's usernames. And it's all about the community feel. That's what we want in these live streams. That's what we strive for. But thank you for that, Barbara. And Suzanne has donated £7.69. So thank you for that. And the message is, how does one choose between these two amazing covers tonight? So thank you for that, Suzanne. Looks like Carry On Wayward Son is still at number one with 58% of the vote. So yeah, it looks like it might be Kansas tonight rather than Whitesnake, but the night is still young. It is just coming up to 11:30 here in the UK, so we've still got a bit of time. Maybe, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to go with that vote for tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that. But thank you, Suzanne, for that donation. And we've had another one that has just come through from Bailey, who has donated £15. So thank you for that, Bailey. And the message is, say I do. Oh, there's a picture of say I do. My mum and I just love your smile. Thanks, Phil. Please shout out to my mum, Lynn. All the best, Bailey Star. So thank you for that, and hello to you and Lynn. Hello, thank you for joining in for tonight's live stream. And oh, you reminded me about a story, and it's not like a story that I've read in a book. This is a real life story from my life. Last week, I did mention over on Patreon that I was going to the dentist, and then I went to the dentist, and it takes like about an hour or about half an hour to get to the dentist. Anyway, so yeah, I travelled to the dentist and I was waiting for half an hour for my appointment, and then after half an hour they called my name and then they said, unfortunately, we've not booked in, or there's an error with the system. We haven't booked in your appointment, even though you did book an appointment, so we don't have an appointment for you. So I said, absolutely fantastic, great. So I then just went home and they booked me in for the next Friday, which would have been yesterday. And it was yesterday. So the other thing that I did get after, I think earlier in the week, I got a message from the dentist saying that last week I missed my appointment. And if I miss another appointment, then it means I get taken off the system, and I'm not able to go to the dentist anymore because, yeah, you have to be registered and all that kind of stuff. So I then got a warning saying that I didn't turn up for my appointment, but I was at the appointment. It's just the appointment didn't exist. So yesterday I went in saying, okay, I've been given my first warning, but I was here. And fortunately, the woman who was behind the desk remembered having to tell me that I'd been waiting half an hour and I didn't actually have an appointment, or I did have an appointment, but unfortunately it hadn't been booked with the dentist, and it was just a messing up situation on their system. So she said she'd undo that. Anyway, I go through the whole dentist thing, and it's not too bad. I think pretty much my teeth are okay, but the only problem that I have with my teeth is genetics, where I have wisdom teeth that are kind of coming through at an angle. So it means that they're pushing on other teeth. And, you know, I don't need these wisdom teeth because the other teeth are just fine, but this is just part of our evolution. As I've mentioned before, when we used to have diets that were high in just eating meat all the time, we needed extra teeth to come through at the back because we wore out the ones back in the day, and I'm talking about way back in the day. So, but we still get wisdom teeth. So mine that are coming through on certainly one side are coming through at the wrong angle. So it might be the case that I have to get that taken out, and then it's obviously rubbing on another tooth, which means it's now more susceptible to decaying because there's now a gap where food can get in, and it's all really complicated. But the thing that happened is when she was cleaning my teeth and kind of using this really small drill type thing, she just kind of went through that, which was fine. I then got home, and I don't tend to kind of look at myself too much, but in the evening, I then remember she said about, clean your teeth when you get home or whatever. So a few hours later, I then went to clean my teeth. And when I looked in the mirror, I have a tiny hole now between my two front teeth, which you won't be able to see here because it's not kind of 8K definition, but I now have a little hole between my two front teeth that wasn't there before yesterday. So I thought, well, that's a bit weird, because I initially thought it was like a seed or something from, sometimes you get these buns that have tiny black seeds on them. So I thought, oh, is there something between my teeth? But then I thought, well, I haven't been eating anything, so what's going on? So I looked at it and I tried to get it out, but then I realised that it's actually a hole, so that when I put my finger behind it or my tongue behind it, it fills it in. So unfortunately, the dentist, while cleaning my teeth, has put like this thing that she's cleaning with, which is it has to be abrasive, and it's a tiny circular instrument. She put it between my teeth and has made a little hole. So now it looks like sometimes it looks like I've got a little seed between my teeth, and people might say, oh, you need to floss your teeth, you've got something there. I say, no, it's a perfect tiny circle that I got as a gift from the dentist. So anyway, yes, I'm going to be ringing the dentist on Monday, and I have fortunately managed to sort something else that they know about it, and they're going to have to maybe do something to try and possibly fill it in or something. I don't know. It is a little bit annoying because, like I said, I don't have many problems with my teeth. So to go to a dentist and then come back with now a hole that you didn't have before, and I haven't had for my whole life, I thought that they were supposed to improve the look of your teeth, not actually kind of damage them or make them look any worse. So yeah, a bit of a shame, but it might just be the case now that they have to fill in the little hole. But it's just annoying that I've never had that, and it's something that they've done that they've now got to try and fill in, and hopefully it won't be like a different colour to my teeth because that'll look weird. So such is life. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to deal with it, I think. But hopefully they can do something with it. I mean, sometimes I do kind of get away with it, depending on the angle, but then under some lights is kind of really obviously kind of a hole between my teeth. And it's annoying that it's between the two front teeth. Why couldn't she do it at the sides so that it doesn't matter as much? But yeah, that is it. Just the way of the world, and just a bit of a nightmare all round at the dentist for me currently, even though there's nothing potentially wrong with my teeth, other than just the genetic thing of them coming through at the wrong angle, which is something that I'm just going to have to deal with, and the dentist might have to deal with, and it might be a case that they just take those teeth out. But I've never had a tooth taken out or anything like that, so I don't know what it's like. Hopefully it's not too bad, but I imagine it's probably quite bad. Anyway, yes. Oh, going back to that donation. Thank you, Bailey, and Bailey's mum, Lynn, for that. Just reminded me about teeth. Right, let's have a look at the next donation. Came through from Sue for £20. Thank you for that, Sue. And that is a straight up donation without a message, so thank you for that. And Joe has donated £10 as well, so thank you for that, Joe. Oh, and by the way, I think my lights might go down at some point, or might be getting a little bit darker throughout the live stream. And this is my fault, because I was moving my amp after the last FilJam that I had, and I couldn't hear my amp because it's too far away. I then moved my amp to be closer, which meant I had to unplug the thing that charges, or the charger for the batteries for my lights. I forgot to turn it on at the point, the power point. So it meant that I put the last batteries in thinking they were going to charge, because I always leave it plugged in, and turned on. But I didn't turn it on last time. So I'm using old batteries here, and I can tell that yes, they are getting a lot dimmer than when we started. So if things get really dark, then it's just because the lights have totally failed. But I've still got the light on in the room, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad that you physically can't see me anymore. I think we're just about getting away with it at the moment. Anyway, thank you, Joe, for that donation. The message was, we're spoiled now with modelling amps, line 6 pod, etc. But if you had to be limited to just 3 old school pedals effects, what would they be? Okay, so thank you for that, Joe. And I mean, I've been new school for so long. Going back to old school, I don't know. It might have to be like a JCM 2000, even though that wouldn't go. Maybe if I'm going proper old school, a JCM 800, something like that. And I mean, going way back in the day, I used to have a Boss distortion pedal and an ME5. So that's going way back. So that was something actually that my dad had first, and then I kind of inherited the Boss ME5 effects unit. So I've never been one of these people that kind of daisy chains effects. I've always had a multi-effects processor where you then store the effects in different banks, and that's what the ME5 was. I then went to, I think it was I can't remember, maybe a Boss GT, one of the family of GT Boss pedals that I had, but I didn't have that for very long because there was just something about the sound that didn't work with, and here's a classic old school amp, a Fender MOSFET. That's what I had, and it was a full stack MOSFET amp, and that was just a ridiculously big amp to be moving around. But that was my MOSFET. A bit of a weird sounding name. So that was something that I used, but then I used the Boss GT, whatever it was, pedal, and I didn't like the sound of it because it always had a really kind of offensively bright sound to it. So I then got the line 6, and once I got the line 6 HD 150, all of the effects were stored in the head, so it meant that I didn't have to worry about carrying loads of pedals around and all that kind of stuff, or the effects unit, because the Boss effects processor was pretty large and heavy, so it's a bit of a pain. Whereas all I needed was just a pedal for my line 6 amp, and it just had 4 buttons on there, or 4 pedals, and it's quite compact, and it had the pedal for the wah-wah and the volume pedal. It was all part of it, so it meant that I just had it all at my feet, and it was all easy to move around. And that's something that I wanted, kind of gigging so much, going up and down stairs, all that kind of stuff. Having less gear for me was a lot better. So that's what I did. I then made that I didn't really make a change to multi-effects, pedals. I had always done that. So starting with that Boss pedal and then moving all the way through and then getting through to line 6. But I did have a line 6 pod. So that was my first introduction to line 6 and them as a company for making effects. And then I got the Pod XT Live, and that's what I had before actually getting the HD 150 amp. So yeah, I did have that final effects process of the Pod XT Live, which was great. And again, that had a really solid sound live, but then again, it was carrying it around and just taking up too much space and just a bit of a pain to have to carry, the amp and then the head and then the effects. And for me, I could actually now put my foot pedals inside the head of my line 6 amp, so it fits in there. So it means that it saved a journey between me and my car or me and the van. So yeah, it's all a bit of a bonus. The other bonus is that the Pod HD 150 has really solid effects in the head, because sometimes using effects with saving them in banks or using effects pedals, you don't quite get the sound you want, or at least I didn't until I got the HD 150. Then I actually got the distortion sound that I liked and thought, oh wow, I'm getting more sustain that I did with the Pod XT Live. So that's why I made the change over. It's just better for me. So yes, I'd probably have to go with a Boss distortion pedal, maybe get a Boss chorus pedal for the clean sounds, but a JCM 800 if I had to go kind of further back, or the JCM 2000, which is something that I probably would go for. Marshall, by the way, it makes those amps. But yeah, with the line 6, I just kind of made that movement over, because it's a transistor amp as well. I haven't mentioned that, but that's quite a big thing for me, because it's the first amp that I had that I considered being a transistor amp, rather than relying on valves, which of course, if you're out gigging, if somebody drops the head of your amp, then unfortunately valves don't last very long. So yeah, getting a transistor amp as well, it's just kind of made sense for me to do that. So anyway, thank you for that, Joe. And Karen has donated £3.84. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, I hope you're on the mend with your arm and tendon. I can relate to the soul destroying feeling you mentioned, because as a musician I feel the same when the carpal tunnel and or the rotator cuff pain acts up. Healing wishes and thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, this thing that I've got with my arm, it was originally tendon, but I think it was a little bit of tendon mixed with a trapped nerve. And then this is why now I think the tendon is fine. Touch wood, touch my head. I could just actually lean across and touch a guitar. So touch wood over there. But with, the whole trapped nerve thing, it hasn't been too bad for me, but I know that there are particular movements where I do feel a trapped nerve. And like yesterday, I had kind of the nerve feeling in my thumb. So it's obviously something that's, getting pinched in my elbow, that is kind of going up as far as my thumb. But if I just get that, it's not a really bad trapped nerve pain. So for me, if I get that, I'm not too worried about it, because I know that it comes and goes and it's getting better over time. And then sometimes I get a trapped nerve feeling in my left shoulder, and I've had it in my right shoulder before. So I think, my nerves are kind of ever so slightly too close to where they should be getting pinched. But I mean, all in all, the tendon is the thing. Like pinched nerves I can kind of deal with, because it's not too bad. But I knew that the tendon is something that is going to take potentially a year, or year and 6 months to kind of fully heal itself. So I'm quite happy if I just don't feel the tendon. That's a win for me. But I hope that your carpal tunnel gets better, clears up. Thank you, Steve, as well, who has donated £1. Thank you for that, Steve. Again, the message is, are you scared to mess with your wisdom teeth? I know Freddie Mercury wouldn't mess with his extra 4 teeth. So thank you for that, Steve. And I don't know. I think at the moment what I'm going to be doing, or at least this is the other thing, that the dentist that I saw like, I'm not sure, like, she's leaving in like a week or something, and unfortunately she's the one that's given me this hole between my teeth, and I don't know why she's leaving, but maybe that's a sign. So I think it's going to be a case of just talking with another dentist and seeing what they say, and hoping that that dentist can kind of do something with this small hole that I've now got in between my two front teeth. But with my wisdom teeth, I think at the moment it's going to be a case of just trying to keep them as clean as possible. But I know that the dentist that I saw yesterday said that even she couldn't get around the tooth because of the way that the wisdom tooth is kind of pressed up against it. It like almost makes it impossible to access where the plaque is building up. Because if you physically can't clear it or clean it, then there's not too much that I can do. But I'm going to do my best to clean it as much as possible. I've got the water flosser thing, so that hopefully I can like jet water through a gap somewhere to keep it clean. Because ideally I would want to just keep my teeth as they are, as long as they're not too painful. I mean, now and again I get that aching of wisdom teeth coming through, but it's not too bad at the moment. It has been really bad in the past, but it's not too bad at the moment. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I won't have to have them removed, and they'll just keep on kind of just staying where they are and not push in anymore. But if it gets to a point where I've literally got to do it to save other teeth from having to be removed, then I'll probably do that. And I don't even know whether the one that it's pushing up against, I'll have to talk to another dentist, or whether that would have to come out as well because of the angle that the other one's pushing into it. And I mean, that might be why before it's been really painful, because it's kind of growing into the other tooth and probably pushing the other tooth away from where it wants to be. So it's all a bit complicated, but hopefully they'll stop pushing through now and I'll be able to keep them clean. So thank you for that, Steve. But I definitely lean on the side of wanting to not have to do anything with removing teeth, because not only would it be a pain, but who knows what could happen. I don't know if they remove a tooth, do they put another tooth in, or do you have like a filling where the tooth was? I don't know, because I'm not very experienced in this kind of thing. As I said, I haven't had any problems with my teeth, so this is all new ground for me. Anyway, let's get into tonight's cover video, because it is actually gone 1:45 here in the UK. So I'll click on that and end the poll, and it looks like Carry On Wayward Son is the winner for tonight with 58% of the vote. So thank you guys for that. And I can see that Chet says dentures ? I don't know whether that's a question to me, and the comment thing is working tonight, which is good. So when I was actually at college, because my teeth have always been quite white, some people say very white, but actually not as white as what people now get done. They have their teeth whitened where it is literally white. So, I mean, it just looks really fake. And especially kind of the veneers that people have as well. It's like almost so bright that they glow in the dark. It just reminds me of something I saw on Friends once, the comedy show, where I'm not sure what his name is. Is it Ross? Who had his teeth whitened and they're like glow in the dark. But that's what it's pretty much come to nowadays. So all I do with my teeth is I just clean them, and it just actually when there's like shaving foam is properly white. So whenever you put on shaving foam and then you show your teeth, you can see actually they're not white at all, but they probably look quite white compared to skin tone. I think that's. Anyway, getting back to college, some people used to kind of have a half joke with me saying that they thought I had false teeth because, I think just because they were clean. I don't know why people don't clean their teeth or didn't clean their teeth, at college. And I think I'm lucky that I went to a class, like an after-school class for brushing your teeth, where they stained your teeth and you had to get all of the staining off so that you were cleaning your teeth properly. And my parents paid for something that kind of protected the teeth throughout your teenage years. And it's something that I looked up lasts for, I think, 5 years, something like that. So they put something on your teeth to protect them throughout your teenage years. So I had that as well. So I was quite lucky. But I always had, the importance of brushing your teeth at the forefront of my mind. So that's something I've just done throughout my life. So yeah, that's why I think I haven't had too many problems with my teeth, but now obviously getting to the age I am and wisdom teeth and all that kind of stuff, maybe my luck has run out. There's only so much you can do with cleaning, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I won't have to have any removed because of wisdom teeth, but we will see. Anyway, yes, getting back to tonight's cover video, let me just jump into this. Hope you guys enjoy. It's my version of the Kansas classic Carry On Wayward Son, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! Okay, Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. Let's do this. Rock! Carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. As I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion, I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming, I can hear them say, carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. Oh no. Masquerading as a man with a reason, my charade was the event of the season. If I claim to be a wise man, it surely means that I don't know. On a stormy sea of moving emotions, tossed around I'm like a ship on the ocean. I set the course for winds of fortune, but I hear the voices say, carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. Carry on, you will always remember. Carry on, nothing equals a splendor. Now your life's no longer empty, surely heaven waits for you. Carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. And there we have it. That was my version of Carry On Wayward Son. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Right, we are looking for a bit of a spike in the likes, if at all possible. We are at 287 at the moment. We're aiming for 325. So that target, I have been just moving it up ever so slightly with each live stream. And 325 is where we're at, which means we're looking for, I shouldn't have started this, 37, 30, 38, 37. Hang on, so it's now moved to, it's because it moved, and if it gets to 290, that's going to make it easy because then it's 35. So I might have been close by saying 37. Right, so there we go. Now we're looking for 35 more likes. So if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. And if we do get to 325, then I'll be busting out the guitar and we'll have a FilJam number 8. That's what we're up to so far. And I think you can probably tell that my lights are now pretty much just totally off. They've got a little bit of a glow to them, but the batteries have absolutely gone. But you can still see me, which is good. It just looks like I'm in high contrast mode. Just using the light of the screen to light my face. Right, anyway, we will be jumping into our picture corner, which is going to be a belter tonight. There's loads of pictures that we're going to be taking a look at. Right, and 301. We just got past 300 likes. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. 24 more people we're looking for in that live chat room. So maybe before the end of the live stream, we can do that. And we're just waiting in order to see whether we're going to have that FilJam. But let me get into picture corner and listen out for the elevator music. Let's get into there, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. Okay, so we're going to be starting with Selena, I do believe, with her Wings of Pegasus mug. Let's see how they get on. So thank you, Selena, for uploading that one. Next, we have Dawn, who has uploaded a picture of her mug as well. Let's see how they get on. So thank you for that. And maybe I can see a Star Wars t-shirt, but I'm not sure. It might just say TAR, which means bye in the UK, but I'm going to take a gamble that it is Star Wars. So thank you for that, Dawn. And Paul has uploaded this one, and we have an absolute merch fest here. We have the Wings of Pegasus mugs. We have the tumblers, I can see there. We have a cap. We have obviously 2 t-shirts. We have 2 pics, framed, signed Wings of Pegasus pics with pictures. And it says something on the bit of paper, but I can't see what it is because it's too small on my screen. But thank you for uploading that one, Paul. And I think actually we have Paul Take 2, which is now showing the Wings of Pegasus glass and the glow-in-the-dark tumbler as well, and the other tumbler and the Spike the Lights mug. So thank you for that, Paul. And for the third in the trilogy, we have Paul's tumbler and let's see how they get on mug. So thank you for uploading those ones, Paul. Right, we have Bob as well. I told you this was a bumper edition of Picture Corner. We have Bob with his Wings of Pegasus hoodie and the Wings of Pegasus tumbler. So thank you for that, Bob. And by the way, guys, if you want to get your hands on the tumblers, I highly recommend them because they keep your cold drinks cold and your warm drinks warm. So whether it's summer or winter, always good to have, and I use mine all the time. So thank you for that, Bob. And last but by no means least, we have Vince here with Sandy, and Vince has on his Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, and I do believe I've been reliably informed that they're going to be seeing friend of the channel June Millington tonight from Fanny, the band Fanny, and that's an analysis video that I've done in the past. June's been on the channel with me in an interview actually where we looked at a performance. So yeah, thank you for uploading this one, Vince and Sandy, and thank you to Laura as well for linking me to all of those pictures for tonight. But that is Picture Corner. If you guys want to take any pictures of yourself with any of the merch, then you can upload them to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook if you are a Facebook user. So do that, get yourselves on the live streams, and yeah, give me a little bit of a break from looking at me all the time. Right, I've stopped Picture Corner, and it looks like Vince and Sandy are just going to be hogging the screen for a little bit longer, and now I'm going to say goodbye to them. So there you go. It didn't quite all happen at the same time, but never mind. But this is live streaming. This is what happens. But there we go. That is Picture Corner. Thank you guys for uploading your pictures and for hitting that thumbs up. I can see that we're looking for 7 more people to have a FilJam. So if there are 7 more people in the live chat room and you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, be much appreciated if you could do that in order to get the guitar out, have a jam, see what happens when we jump into track number 8 from Joe's list of backing tracks that he sent me over on Patreon. So we will keep an eye on that target. Yes, 5, 6, 7 more to go. Having said that, 5 more to go. So we're getting pretty close, and it looks like we've got maybe somebody did a double click, or maybe it just doesn't count it correctly. We're looking for 3 more people. We might actually be able to hit the target while I'm talking, maybe, and then get straight into a FilJam. It is midnight here in the UK, and there we have it. We have hit the target. And even if we go down from here and everybody clicks the thumbs up again, it doesn't matter because we have hit the target. Them's the rules. So we are going to be having a FilJam. And let me jump over to the Patreon page. By the way, guys, if you want to get involved yourselves and get involved on a deeper level, then you can do over at patreon.com/wings of Pegasus. And there is something I can click on here to make it appear on screen. There you go. But that's where you can message me directly. That's where Joe has messaged me with these backing tracks and keeps me up to date as to which ones I've done and which ones I haven't done. So we will be jumping into number 8, and I'm going to move. Didn't plan ahead there. Move my water out of the way so I can actually see it on the screen. Right, okay. Right, the next one we haven't done is 11 minutes and 27 seconds. Oh, let me stop the advert, or at least play through the advert. And it's a 20-second advert that I'm going to have to sit through, and we're just going to have to wait until this advert finishes. And it says 1 of 2, so maybe it's going to be one that we can skip the next one, hopefully. Fingers crossed, we will see. If it is... No, it's a 15-second advert that we can't skip. This seems to be happening a little bit more regularly now on YouTube, is that you can't skip the videos. But then I know that it is an option that you can put on your videos, whether to have ones that you can skip or not. So I tend to try and do that wherever possible, because I'm not a big fan of having to sit through adverts, especially when the video just starts. And this is something that sometimes you can't stop. Like when I'm doing an analysis video, somebody else owns the copyright, and then they decide, right, I'm going to put like 20 adverts on this video of this person analysing my song. But most people are okay, but it's when, you see a video and it's like, you have the intro, and after about 30 seconds it goes into an advert. It's like, well, we haven't even seen any of the video yet. Anyway, let's get into this particular backing track. Fusion rock jam track in B minor. Fusion rock guitar backing track jam in B minor. So that's the official title. This is from Sebastian Zanino's channel, and that is Sebastian, spell E-N at the end there, and Zanino, so that's Z-U-N-I-N-O. So you guys can check out this backing track if you want to independently. We are going to be having a listen to this, and let me grab this guitar because it is plugged in. And oh, that's another thing that I bought. And I've just remembered before being reminded to do the chair. Another thing is I did buy a mini wah-wah pedal so that I could play with the Mustang LT 25, the Fender amp that I use for these, which is just down in the corner here, as you can see. So I bought a wah-wah pedal, but unfortunately the kind of interference that I get from it is really bad. So I don't know whether I've got a duff one, or I'll maybe send it back and just go back for maybe a crybaby wah-wah pedal, because that's what I had before. So I might just go back to that. But anyway, let's have a listen to this and see what happens. And I'm assuming this is Sebastian playing. Funky groove. Okay, there's a lot of notes in that. Oh, let me know if you can hear this. You can hear it? Good stuff. Gonna adjust the level a little bit. Okay, a little bit better. funky one here. end. I saw somebody saying about how much time left. Oh, maybe. Oh, it's under 2 minutes, so just a minute and a bit. I don't know if this is going to have an ending or not. I don't know, it might just suddenly end, so fair warning. And I told you, that was all right because I was thinking it might do a sudden end. But there we go. So that was that. A bit of a funky, even though this is a fusion rock guitar backing track, Jam in B minor. That was, yeah, definitely a bit groovy and a bit funky. It had something in it, which is great when you can kind of, you jump into it, dig into the groove a little bit, and yeah, just inspired by Sebastian, even threw in, what did I do? I can't remember. Yeah, a little bit of sweep picking in there as well, but only very briefly. I don't really play too much of all that kind of stuff. But anyway, yes, thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring the live jam or the FilJam at the end of the live stream. We will be doing it all again on Tuesday night, but make sure you are subscribed, hit that notification bell for tomorrow's video, because my interview with Morris is going to be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. I just have to put the final touches to the editing tomorrow during the day, and then I'll be releasing that in the evening. So yeah, make sure you are subscribed, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss that video tomorrow, because it is going to be a good one. Hopefully you guys are going to be free on Tuesday night. I'm going to be live streaming at the same time, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And by the way, Karen, thank you for that donation of $2 that says, Phil, Chipper says hi and sends beaky kisses. Karen, so thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, to Chipper as well for tuning in for tonight's live stream. We are going to be calling things to a close now. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And yeah, I'll see you at that video tomorrow night, and then see you live on Tuesday night if you can make it. As I always say, try to stay as sane and as safe as possible. in this crazy world in which we live in. But I'll be here Tuesday night. Hopefully you can join me then. If you can make it, that would be great. And just stay safe. Have a great start to your week next week, as well as a great weekend. And I'll catch you guys then. Rock!